Welcome everyone today to Prove It's Facebook Live. My name is Dr. Heather Cardin. I am one of your Prove It specialists, also one of your Keto Reboot coaches here today. Every Wednesday at 1 o'clock Central Standard Time, Prove It has a different specialist here live to help answer all your questions about all things Prove It. All things, whether it's ketones, ketosis, exogenous ketones, all things that we have about our products. So as you're joining us, know that this is absolutely meant to be shared. We have over 2 years of past Facebook Lives here as our product has been evolved and improved. As we've upgraded our products, we have new products added to our amazing line of Prove It products. We want to make sure that we're getting your questions answered. We do have an amazing help section. We also have an amazing help center. We also have Prove It TV. We have also other resources that we can help answer those questions, but sometimes there's those questions that maybe are lingering that you're just quite not sure about. That's what this is about, is getting those questions that maybe you just think maybe you just don't feel like you want to answer or just haven't quite understood yet. This is that time for you to answer those questions. So again, as you're joining us, let us know where you're coming from. I am coming to you live from Overland Park, Kansas. I have been with Prove It since the beta testing phase in 2015, before we had a Facebook Live educating people, before we even had a website. I have been with Prove It since we had just Prove It in the little white baggies, before we only had one flavor, which was the orange swirl. So I've had an amazing privilege to be along here with Prove It as we've developed and led the technology with the ketone technology and all these amazing flavors, even before we had the Reboot system. So as you're joining us, thank you for letting us know where you're coming from. If you just completed the Reboot, let us know what Reboot this is. Also, if you're joining us and you haven't checked out the Reboot page and you just completed your Reboot, we are doing a little bit of shaking up around the globe. So as we get done here, make sure you jump over to the Reboot page. Even though you finished your Reboot, your 60-hour Reboot, we are having a little bit of a time zone challenge, having you shake it up and show us your shake up. It means shaking up your favorite flavor of ketones in your shaker bottle and let us know how you celebrate, how you do when you finish your 60-hour Keto Reboot Challenge. So a little bit about me as our friends are jumping on. It is about 1:05, so we've got just a couple minutes here, and then we're going to get right down to your questions. So as I shared, my name is Dr. Heather Cardin. I am the co-owner of Cardin Center for Wellness here in Overland Park, Kansas. I practice alongside my husband. We've practiced for well over 20 years. We have taught food as a foundation for all of our protocol treatments for our patients. So no matter what you come into our office for, whether it's general inflammation, just you want to have a better healthy lifestyle, no matter if it's head pain or big toe-itis or gut inflammation, we do food allergy testing, hormone balancing. We all start with what it is that you put in your body, because food is energy for your body. Your body takes the food that you eat and its own pharmacy. Your body can make its own hormones, it can make its own insulin, it can make its own energy to feed on. So back in the day, before low carb, before those words were actually on, before there was actually Facebook, we were actually teaching zone low carb keto classes in our office. So that was well over 20 years ago. You can imagine how excited we were to hear that Prove It has actually brought the first therapeutic exogenous ketone to the market. We knew what the ketogenic diet was because it's been out there and studied for well over 100 years. But again, there wasn't the magnitude. People were just starting to develop books and write papers about it, even though we've studied it for over 100 years. And it was beginning to be studied for the treatment for children who were non-responsive, who had epilepsy but were non-responsive to medication. So the studies began to be treated again over 100 years ago, but we have been teaching a zone, then moved to the low carb, high fat diet, then to the ketogenic diet. So very excited to have this amazing product at our hands to actually share not only with our patients, but with our family and friends as well. So that is a little bit about who I am. Also mother of 4 amazing young men, but very excited to be here as a wellness practitioner, sharing what the amazing product of Prove It does. We know that as a healthcare professional, one of the major complaints or concerns, I don't want to say complaints, concerns that people have going to the doctor is that they're tired. People just go being tired and they do standard blood work and nothing shows up. We take a look back at that and we look at the standard American pyramid, or what people are eating. They're eating a quality of food which is called carbohydrates, which are not a very efficient fuel source. Carbohydrates only last about 30 to 40 minutes in your body. That's why you find yourself being hungry every 30 or 40 minutes. Or we know that the average American person eats about about 17 times a day. Eating is defined as consuming calories. Yes, the average person eats 17 times a day. We start talking about ketones. Ketones or a byproduct of fat metabolism, or ketosis simply means you're burning fat for fuel. Ketones can give you anywhere from 3 to 4 to 5+ hours of energy. Glucose versus ketones. So we have two fuel sources. We either can burn glucose, which comes from carbohydrates, or we can burn ketones, which comes from burning fat. Glucose, again, will burn anywhere from 30 to 40 minutes. Ketones from fat will burn anywhere from 2 to 4 to 6+ hours. So it makes sense you want to have a better energy source, because when your energy is more stable, you feel much happier. You don't have those highs and lows. You don't have those sleepy times throughout the day or those hangry times throughout the day. You recover from your average day at work, your 9 to 5, or you recover much better from doing yard work. You recover from stress much better when your blood sugar is balanced or your energy is balanced. So it makes sense that our body burns much better on ketones. We also know molecule per molecule, 1 molecule of glucose per 1 molecule of ketones, you get 30% more energy, or 30% plus more energy ketone per glucose molecule. So that's why you hear people saying that they're performing much better during their normal aerobic activity or just their day-to-day activity. People are sleeping better. They're getting more oxygen to your brain, which means your brain's going to actually perform much better. So we talk about the benefits of ketones: better energy, better cognition, better memory, better sports performance. So a lot of those amazing things we start to hear when people are actually consuming a better energy source, and not to consume caffeine, which is a stimulant, with an energy source, which is ketones. Remember, we only have two energy sources. We either have glucose or we have ketones. If you're eating a diet that's high in carbohydrates, that means you're a sugar burner, you're burning glucose. If you eat a diet high in fats, that means you're on a ketogenic diet, that means you're a ketone burner. For the first time ever, we can actually consume any diet that you want. You can either be a vegetarian diet, you can be a carnivore, you can be a low-carb diet, a paleo diet, whichever diet that you choose to be on, whichever one works for you and makes you feel the best, you can add pure therapeutic exogenous ketones to your diet and get that extra energy that you've been missing. So let's get right down to your questions here. And I love knowing where you're coming from, because now we know that we are from around the globe. I love seeing who participated in the Reboot, because we know we have over 90,000 people in our Reboot program. So right now it is time to get down to your questions. So I did see a question earlier about Mitoplex. So that is getting into some of our newer products that we've added in the last several months here. Mitoplex is an upgraded electrolytes. Electrolytes are essential for our body. Our body does not manufacture it. You actually have to get it from outside the body. That means exogenous, outside the body. Electrolytes plus water equals electricity. So that increases the signaling production in our body. Electrolytes are things like sodium, potassium, magnesium, and we know we have an upgraded resource. So we have some creatinine monophosphate. We also have some vitamin D3 in there, which actually help protect and increase your lean muscle mass and muscle mass protection. I know I talk fast. Somebody has said that, so I'm sorry if I talk fast. I know we have a lot of people where English is not their first language, so I apologize for that. I want to get as many questions as possible shared with you. Do know that we do timestamp this, so you can go back and see where we've answered each of those questions. And again, we have an amazing help center for that. But you can also go to proveitnow.com/product. Click on each and every one of the products. The whole entire label is there. The amount and milligram of what is in each and every product is there. And then why it's in the product is also labeled there. So when you go to the Help Center, which you can access through each and every one of our websites and also through your Pulse app, you can access it there. It'll give you each of the products and again why it's there. So all of our NAT is gluten-free. I saw that question. It is also gluten-free, soy-free, dairy-free, kosher. The salts are kosher certified. I was going to get a box, but they're way up there. My box is sitting up there. I put a lot of things in front of me here, but know that that the broths are not. They do have some chicken or beef in there, so the broths are not vegan or vegetarian. The difference between NAT and MAX, great question. So when we start talking about the up, this is a free cell technology, and I compare it to water. So water is H2O. There's H2O. So there's two H's, 2 and O. We don't have to put those together and shake it together, and it's from two different containers. It's already together for us, which means it's already naturally mixed. We're talking about, I actually have our proton shake in here, which is a ketone proton shake. So it means it's ketones, beta hydroxybutyrate, plus the proton shake in there. So proteins plus ketones, beta hydroxybutyrate plus protein. Those actually have to be shaken up and mixed. So those are not free cell. They actually have to be blended together. But this is the first fermented free cell ketone. So you're not going to see any sodium in there. So that's the difference between the NAT. NAT means all natural. So it is an all natural. It's the same isomer, exactly what our body makes. So bioidentical to what our body makes, which is the R isomer. And when you start talking about isomer or bioidentical, think of it like right and left are mirror images. So our body makes an R isomer of beta hydroxybutyrate. So when our liver makes an endogenous ketones, it goes out and grabs the fat, it uncouples it, and it makes a ketone body, specifically beta hydroxybutyrate. We actually make 3 different ketone bodies, but we're going to talk about BHB or beta hydroxybutyrate. We make the R isomer. So when you're taking one outside the body, like our NAT, think of it like fitting into a glove or playing the game Tetris. If I have a right glove and this is going to actually go into my body, it has to be the right isomer to fit in there, just like a right glove fits in there. If this were the L isomer or the left one specifically to speak, and we're going to use it like that, it wouldn't fit very well. It wouldn't be absorbed into the body, where if this is a right one, it fits just like a glove and it's absorbed right into the cells, nice and absorbed right into the cells and uptake very quickly. That's why Prove It can say we put your body into ketosis in less than 59 minutes, because it's absorbed nicely into the body. If it were the wrong or incorrect isomer, not identical to what our body makes, it's the L one, it means it doesn't get absorbed and it doesn't go right into the body, and then you wouldn't experience that amazing state of ketosis. So again, that's the difference between what we're making. And then again, NAT is an all natural, UP is a free cell technology. We have a great YouTube video, so you can go to our YouTube channel, which is Just Prove It, and you can hear about a 2 or 3 minute video on the difference of what our UP is, our free cell technology, what our NAT or an all natural technology is, and again, a great video channel of what our keto protein, we have this an orange swirl and chocolate swirl, what is our ketone protein. Someone asked that because you'll see people that say we have a ketone protein shake or a ketogenic shake. That doesn't mean it has ketones in it. It just means the macronutrients in it actually fit a ketogenic diet lifestyle. It doesn't mean that it has ketones in it, where ours actually has a beta hydroxybutyrate, the ketone body in there. Thank you, Sherry, for sharing. I saw that. So yes, this is absolutely meant to be shared. And welcome everybody who's on there. Let us know where you're joining us from. If you did do the reboot, I want to make sure that you guys know that we want you sharing a video where you are shaking it up and celebrating your reboot dance with us. 10, 20 seconds is all we want to have, but it's so fun to have it shaking up around the globe and creating a wave like that. So I want to make sure I shout that in there. And thank you for tagging your friends in here, because we know that caring is sharing and sharing is caring. So thanks for tagging your friends in there. And again, I am here to help answer your questions and understand all things ketones, ketosis, and all things Prove It. And we have everybody coming from all around the globe there. So again, congratulations on all of you who have completed your reboot. Oh, I saw that question as well. So how much Mitoplex to take? So anywhere from 1 to 3 a day, depending on your needs. So if you know that you're a really big sweater, you know you don't eat a lot of vegetables, because that's where we get a lot of our green vegetables. We get a lot of our trace elements from there. And you don't take a lot of salt intake. You don't do a lot of pink Himalayan sea salt, or you feel like you've been on a low salt restricted diet for a long time, as per your physician, or that tends to be something that you just innately don't consume in your diet. Or you work outside and sweat a lot at human environment, then anywhere from 1 to 3 a day, or you're an athlete that does 2+ hours of exercise a day, anywhere from 1 to 3 a day would be normal. Again, you can just flush them out, so water soluble again. So I would start with 1 a day and see how you feel. Normally how you feel is that if you're feeling tired or lethargic, and you've had a nice balanced meal full of healthy greens and some healthy fat and some hopefully locally grown protein or clean protein, you've had your keto NAT for the day, then have a Mitoplex. And if that increases your body's energy, then you know that that's what your body was missing, that next step to your overall health. I took a keto break for 6 months. Do I have to? So great question. Someone said I took a keto break for about 6 months, so I need to do the reboot to get back on. So the answer is no. You can actually choose to do the reboot. As a company, we do the reboot, which is a metabolic reset that we do once a month as a company. And if you've taken a break from doing the keto reboot, maybe you've taken a break from ketones for whatever reason, you can actually start right back in with the ketones. 1 serving a day is therapeutic, 2 serving a day is optimal, or you can start right back in with the Reboot, because what the Reboot does is it resets. Just like you change the tires on your vehicle, or you change the oil on your vehicle, you restart your hard drive or jump drive, you clean off your desktop on your computer because you got too many icons all over it, then you just add the ones that you want. That's kind of what the Reboot does. We take away all those things that you're adding into your body that you probably don't need. We add back in exactly what your body does need, which is amazing energy, which is beta hydroxybutyrate, specific nutrition, minerals, macronutrients, specific herbs to help your body clean at that cellular level, to help reset your body's taste buds, reset your stomach size, believe that or not, and help your gut lining start to heal and repair, and actually heal and repair DNA at that cellular level. So that's a great way to start to get back on that journey, is with the Keto Reboot. If that's not available at the time, because we only do sell that at the beginning of each month, we do that and we stop the sell of production. So make sure everybody has that together, because we know as a community it can be very hard not to chew food for 60 hours for some people. So we know that that coaching time is very important for a lot of people, to have that one-on-one or one on 10 or 20,000 people getting that participation coaching. So you can start either way. You can simply start with just ketones, and that's what we did for the first few years, or you can start with a Reboot. It's totally up to you, whichever is easiest for you. So the Hacking Better is actually in Louisville, October. You can look at the event tab for all the events coming up with the company, past and present and future to be. Hit the events tab. It is in Louisville, Kentucky. It will be the leading top experts talking about the ketone conversation, what's coming up with research and development of what people are using the ketogenic diet for, and ketones and exogenous ketones. That is Louisville, Kentucky, October 26th, 27th, and 28th. Can you talk a little bit more about Keto OS? Are you talking about the Keto OS, the Signal OS, or Keto OS? So I'm not, I guess she's saying keto/OS. So I'm going to think she's talking about more about exogenous ketones. So I'm going to, and currently taking it, doing clean keto 30. Great. So I'm going to talk about using Keto OS or exogenous ketones while you're already on a ketogenic diet and living a keto lifestyle. That's a great question. So this was me. I was already on a ketogenic diet. And when Prove It came to me and said, hey, would you check out these ketogenic exogenous ketones? We know that you've taught and educated people on the ketogenic diet. Would you do a little bit of chat about this? So for me, there was times where I either didn't get enough sleep, or I wanted to have an extra bite of broccoli, or I had an extra bite of meat, or maybe one little bit of cheese on something, which is a sensitivity or allergy for me, and that would take me out of ketosis. And then I would have stress because I was out of ketosis, and I was recalculating my macros, and I thought I was living in there and be out of ketosis, in ketosis, or I'd be barely in ketosis, and I was measuring with the blood meter, which being in ketosis means your body's burning fat for fuel, and I was either 0.5 or 0.8, which says, yes, you're in ketosis, but I wasn't feeling my very best. My very best, my ketone levels above 1.1 to 1.2 is when I feel the best, but there will be times I couldn't get in ketosis, even on a ketogenic diet. When I would add the exogenous ketones, simply just ketones plus water, it allows kind of like a gift to my body. My liver didn't have to do all the work. If I actually overslept or underslept or overworked out, or maybe I had a few extra bites of broccoli, or I had 2 extra bites of red pepper, those would actually take me out of natural ketosis. Or again, if I overexercise or under exercise stress, any of those little factors can actually take you out of that natural state of ketosis. So for me, adding exogenous ketones gave me more metabolic flexibility. It helped heighten my level, and we know there are a lot of amazing researchers out there doing this exact research, people on a ketogenic diet using exogenous ketones, or Prove It's ketones, saying, how do you feel when your ketone level is a little bit higher? And we see a higher level of function, a higher level of cognition, a higher level of performance, whether it's day-to-day performance, whether it's sleeping and how deep you sleep, from sleep apnea to just that deeper state of sleep, how many times you wake up. So being on a ketogenic diet, adding the exogenous ketones, take your energy level just a little bit higher or deeper into ketosis, so you get all those amazing benefits of getting that extra oxygen per molecule when you're in that state. And so when I drink ketones, you'll see a benefit for people. It will just vary from person to person, anywhere to 2 to 6 plus hours. So having an extra 6 plus hours of extra energy for me will get me through that kind of slump that I have from about 11 to 5. So I feel much better. It would guarantee that I'd be in ketosis. I could have that extra bites of broccoli or the extra bites of red peppers, because those have a lot of sugar in them, believe it or not, when you start to cook or caramelize those. So for me, this is an extra way of getting more metabolic flexibility for my body to have a few more carbs or to have extra bites of protein. So it definitely does benefit people. And the research out there does state that. And just to let you know, I am not here to treat or diagnose or override what your physician has said, or to, again, diagnose or treat any health concerns that you have. I'm simply here to share and to clarify and educate you on what the Prove It products are and what they are not. And again, I'm not a researcher. I'm just here to share what the education is about. So I do want to make sure. I saw somebody asking a question that their doctor said they can't have it. Well, then I'm going to have to respect what your doctor does know, because they know your history far better than I do. So I saw a question there. I make sure my stand has been a little silly today. So gastric bypass is a great question. So with the gastric bypass, just check with your healthcare provider first and make sure, because you're on a volume restriction. So ketones have an amazing job of pulling water and toxins out of your fat cells. There are some studies done in 2015 and 2016 that ketones actually inhibit NLRP3 inflammasome, which is an inflammatory marker. Anytime you're inhibiting inflammation, you're actually stopping fluid retention, which can lead to slight dehydration. So we want to make sure that you're not getting dehydrated. It will happen because, oh my gosh, this tastes so yummy. I could drink 5 a day, and I'm replacing this with my 5 diet sodas or my 5 regular sodas that I was having. Make sure, because this does an amazing job of pulling toxins out of your fat cells and your other cells, that you are making sure you're drinking plenty of water with that. So just make sure with the gastric sleeve, because you're going to see this says mix this up with 12 to 16 ounces of water. And if you're to only have maybe 8 ounces of fluid at a time, that maybe you need to do just a half a serving, or if you do a whole serving that's a bit diluted, that you make sure that you get the extra water in, because we want to make sure that you don't get dehydrated with that gastric sleeve. So that would just be my only concern with the gastric sleeve. And we have a lot of people who are having amazing success, because we know the studies out there with the gastric bypass or a gastric sleeve are only 5% success and 95% failure, where we're seeing amazing people like sharing their experience. We haven't done any studies, but people sharing their experience. So this is really getting them to where they want to be, because ketones take away cravings. They add better energy. They're thermogenic. They increase your body's thermolysis, which means it helps burn fat quicker, because anytime you can get your metabolic rate up, just think about kids running around and sweating. Now, that's what happens when you increase your basal metabolic rate. You actually burn through things quicker, that they're having a lot of amazing success getting back down and having those scale victories that they want. But I do want to make a disclaimer that Prove It is not a weight loss company, but the benefits happen to be that people are losing unwanted fat for a couple of reasons. Think about why you get unwanted weight or how extra pounds pack on. Number one, you have cravings. Number one, you're tired, so you go for a carb or something you don't want, because carbs actually give you a quick energy, 30 or 40 minutes, as we shared. We know that if you're not getting good sleep, it imbalances cortisol level, which leads to extra weight gain. So we also know that ketones help calm down the nervous system. A lot of times people eat out of anxiety, they eat out of nervousness. So if we know that we can calm down the nervous system, we can decrease cravings, we can get you feeling better, better energy, you're more likely to exercise, it ends up being a winning recipe to fat loss. And hey, welcome everybody. First time joining my live. So welcome, Tabitha. Thank you for joining us. And again, welcome everybody who is first time joining us. I saw a question here. I thought that was trying to read the same thing. 2 months. So the keto flu, I want to talk a little bit about that. So the keto flu, I call it the carb flu, and I have for many years, because really we look about carbs being highly addictive or sugar being highly addictive. So we've heard about when people start to transition to a low carb diet or just taking away any of the processed sugar, they have the keto flu. That can happen on any time you take away the sugar out of a diet. So what people have experienced is like when they've tried to cut out the sugar before, they don't have the keto flu. Again, the keto flu, I think, is just the carb flu, because you're getting rid of the sugar. What we do know with ketones is because ketones replace that energy and give you such amazing energy at a higher level, and they taste amazing, that people are actually replacing their sugary drink for a ketone. They're not having that keto flu because you're replacing those ketones. The beta hydroxybutyrate is giving them the energy that they are missing from those. And now that we have the electrolytes, and also now we have the a lot of times their sugar comes from a fizzy drink. People are used to holding a can of something and drinking it, that's replacing that, and they're not experiencing that keto flu. I call it the carb flu, because you're getting something that tastes amazing. You're getting electrolytes back in there that most often are lost through there. So you're maybe going to have a little bit of experience when you're coming from 200 or 300 grams of carbs to a healthier lifestyle, whatever that carb balance needs to be for you. But just know that it took a long time for your body to get out of balance. Again, this is an amazing way to shift your body to a healthier balance, but just go slow, be gracious to your body, be grateful for your body, and celebrate yourself. Celebrate all the wins that you are having. If you passed up the popcorn or passed up a Snickers or just did the reboot, celebrate all those amazing wins. So I saw people ask about CRPS, people ask about lupus, people ask about autoimmune diseases. I saw people ask about rheumatoid arthritis. So I'm going to say whatever the letters are for a disease process, I want you to think about ketones as this. They're an energy source. That's the truth. They're an energy source for our body. So if you had rheumatoid arthritis, if you had chronic regional pain syndrome, if you had lupus, if you had any autoimmune disease, if you had Parkinson's or ALS, I did see those questions. Think about a person that may have that. Would they be tired? Probably so. Could they use more energy? I would think so, yes. Might they not be sleeping well? Probably not. Would they benefit from better sleep? Yes, everyone would benefit from better sleep. Might they have pain brain, right? Some of those are pain syndromes. Would they have pain brain, or would they have some memory loss where it's ALS or Parkinson's? And one of our amazing ambassadors, Mary Newport, who helped develop the 143, which is our amazing MCT blend, talks a lot about this in her 3 books about how the MCT blend with the beta hydroxybutyrate can absolutely help with our brain cognition, brain memory, whether it's a 5-year-old, a 50-year-old, or a 90-year-old. So when you start, I know people, again, I'm not ignoring your questions. I want you to just think very simple. A person with any of those type of health conditions, whatever the letters may be, again, whether it's a pain brain, a memory brain, or an autoimmune disease, or a pain syndrome, could they benefit from better energy? I would think so, yes. Practicing for 20-some years, could they benefit from better sleep? Ketones help with sleep. Ketones calm down the nervous system? If you're having pain, if you're having anxiety from maybe not remembering what you wanted to remember, maybe you're having anxiety because you can't participate in life like you wanted to because of pain or because of physical ailments or things going on, and we know that ketones calm down the brain and elevate your mood, that actually turn on your feel-good receptors, which is dopamine. The answer is yes. We know that ketones do that through the research and science. That would be yes, that's a reason to drink ketones. We also know, got my functional fat here, that the functional fat or keto cream does not have any beta hydroxybutyrate in it, but we do know that it does have collagen in there. So we start talking about all these diseases, these autoimmune diseases like dermatomyositis or ALS or Parkinson's. We know collagen is so important for brain function, for skin elasticity, for muscle movement, for joint mobility. So as we are growing and as we are aging or as we are recovering from an injury, collagen is so important for that. And the MCT oil always gives blend. It actually helps give our body more energy from the C8, but the C12 is also antibacterial, antifungal, and antiparasitic. So it's a great thing as we go into cold and flu season or as we're aging as a preventative for our body. And then we have amazing Ceylon cinnamon in there, which is great for blood sugar balancing. It's great for sugar metabolism. It's great for gut health. So a lot of great things come in this. Plus our CMAD, you can read more about on our proveitnow.com, is our anti-aging formula, which is our DNA repair. So as we age, or I think the name of the game of slowing down the aging process is slowing down the sugars, getting more mobile, more active. So if we know we can do that with better collagen to help our mobility of our joints and having more energy through our ketones, then we know that we're going to actually be participating in life at a higher level. And then our formula in our CMed has DNA repair, is actually also going to help slow down, I always call it father time, but help us again slow down that aging process with DNA repair and add that monthly reboot in there. You're going to find that over time, not next week or not tomorrow, but over time, you hear these stories of people who've done the reboot month after month, now year after year, how amazing they feel when they start to look back. Like a year ago, I couldn't do that. Now I'm running a 5K at the age of 80, or now I'm doing this at the age of 70 or 80 or even 50 or 30. I'm doing these age. So I know I'm going a little bit over time here, but I want to just share the importance of when you look at the product line that we have lined up, we call it a 24-hour system, that they all synergistically work together. We have 12 different organ systems. We have one main brain, but it feeds 12 different organ systems, which all have different nutrients. We have 21 different amino acids. We have different types of skeletal muscle in our body, different type of cardiac muscle in our body that all need different type of issues. So last question I'm going to answer there, and then we're at 132. I want to make sure that we know where you're coming from. We want to know if you participate in the reboot, and make sure that you do your shaker video over on the reboot page, which means you're going to celebrate and shake up your video here. The thyroid. So we get a lot of questions about the thyroid. The thyroid is located right here. It is the ignition for your body. The adrenal glands are little glands that sit on top of your kidneys. They are the engine for your body. They have 3 different layers of the adrenal glands do, but the thyroid gets a signal from your brain called the thyroid stimulating hormone that says turn it off or turn it on. So it starts your body in the morning and it turns your body off at night. So if you have a car, I would say if you had an old car, you probably got to put the best fuel source possible in there because your car is aging, has a lot of miles on it. Or if you have a brand new Lamborghini or Ferrari, you probably want to put the best fuel source you can in there. So I'm probably going to challenge you with the same question. When you're talking about the fuel source, do you want to put the best fuel source you can on the market in your body, or do you want to put something that comes at a fountain drink or a drive-through? I know for myself, I want to slow down the aging process. I'm the mother of 4 amazing young kids, but I am an older mom, which means I had them, into my 3rd decade of life. I want to make sure that I can participate at the highest level as long as I can. I'm going to use Dr. Ford's analogy. If you've ever met Dr. Ken Ford, he always talks about as he ages through life, he wants to go, hoppy, 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 and then pass away. He wants to skip that rocking chair age, so to speak, because you want to make longevity be as fun as you can and participate in life as high as you can. That's putting the highest fuel source in your body. So if your thyroid, again, think of that jalopy that's not starting very well or stopping very well, then we know that we want to put a good energy source inside your body, and not just with ketones, but the daily food that you eat. And that's what we do talk about in our reboot group, is putting the good food sources in your body on a daily basis. And that includes functional fat, that includes our 143 MCT oil, that includes our amazing keto NAT, putting in there so you have the amazing energy source so your body can actually function and you can be the best version of yourself. So again, my name is Dr. Heather Cardin. I'm here from Overland Park, Kansas. Again, very, very blessed to be one of your Prove It education specialists here, and also one of your keto reboot coaches. If I missed your question, I am sincerely sorry, but the great news is we have a YouTube channel, just Prove It. We have a Facebook page that you are on right now. You can scroll up the top of the videos and you can see 3 years of videos from Keto Academy, from our leading thought leaders, 20 to 30 minute videos targeted on some of the best topics that you guys ask about that we just barely touched on. You can also go to Prove It Apple TV. We have an Apple TV. We have a Prove It TV. You can go there. You can also go to our amazing help center that you can find in the Prove It Pulse app, or you can find at the top or bottom of our proveitnow.com. You can also go to proveitnow.com. We have amazing recipes on our blog. People ask about research. You can also go over to proveitnow.com and click on Learn. Go down to Learn and you're going to see some articles there that you guys ask about cognition and sports performance, physical performance, and some amazing things there. More information about intermittent fasting and how we use some of our amazing products. But just know that Prove It does lead with education. That's why you have a specialist here every Wednesday. We have a Keto 101 on Friday to help talk more about our amazing products. So we want to make sure you know what you're putting in your body and why you're putting it in your body and what our ketones are and what they are not, so that you understand why we are so excited about our amazing technology here. So again, thank you. Let us know where, again, you're coming from, what reboot you are. Don't forget to shake it up on the reboot page. And if you're watching this on replay, put down replay, because we want to make sure that you are staying tuned into us. If you are brand new to our reboot community, welcome, welcome, welcome from around the globe, and welcome from us here at our Prove It community to you. And no, you're absolutely welcome. Please invite your friends, family, and neighbors to this community page. You don't have to already be using Prove It to check us out. Invite your friends here, because we are here to give you a nice big warm welcome. Have an amazing day, and we'll be seeing you soon.